Okay, everyone, welcome to this hour around ICF accreditation. More and more coaches have been asking us around ICF credentialing and how they can become ICF accredited, and we thought it would be a good idea to get Marina Gunther on a Zoom call or session with us. Marina runs the Neuro Leadership Institute here in South Africa, and they've trained a lot of strength coaches, in the sense that people tend to certify as strength coaches, and then they certify as neuro leadership coaches as well. And I had a good conversation with Marina, and she said that it's not that difficult to get your ICF credentials. So I invited her to come and talk to our coaches. And Marina, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it, and we're so happy to have you on the call at the moment. If I can ask if you can just put yourselves on mute, that means that we can get Marina on speaker view so that we can experience what she has to share with us today. Thank you, Marina. Appreciate it. Over to you.
Thank you very much. And you know what, before we start, I would like to ask, do you know what the benefit will be for you to be an ICF coach? There must be a reason that you have decided that ICF accreditation is something that you would like to gain and have and hold in your hand. And you know what? I would like to ask if you can I will open the list of participants and just hear from you. If one or two can share with me what your thinking is and what the benefit would be if you have an ICF credential. Oh, nobody thought about that.
Yeah, I have, Marina.
Okay, let's hear.
Yeah. Well, I think there's two main things for me. Number one, I think just from what I've heard from an English coaching colleague of mine, and the rigor that's required to become ICF coach, ICF certified, I think that would just add real professionalism to my practice. Because it's an international accreditation, it's recognized around the world, and from what I've heard, as I said, there's a lot to it. So for me, it would mean I could really call myself a professional coach. Number one, and number two, the possibility of gaining international clients would be another reason for me.
Yes, definitely. And that's a reality. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, Bev. And who else would like to give that a go? Elizabeth?
Yes,
I see that you're off mute.
Yes, so I think the same as Bev. I think it just creates a bigger basket of offerings. And I think, with the virtual world that we're living in at the moment, I think it really cuts across those borders. Yes. And so being able to empower and, touch a market that I haven't been able to touch in a really meaningful way, I think it's all about, that. So that, and then also just all the experience that I can learn from this process. I'm sure it's a growing journey. And so I'm really keen to grow and learn about something new, not to be stagnant.
Fantastic.
So that's me.
That's great. And thank you very much for sharing that. And now the activator in me is, taking off my jacket so that I can just move my arms around and pull up the sleeves, and let's get into it. I would like to share with you the reason I decided that I would like to be an ICF accredited coach. I also did my training as a coach with the Neuro Leadership Results Coaching Systems. And then I thought, but you know what? I don't know whether this is a strength, but I'm quite windgat. Do you know what windy is? I like to be recognized. And I don't know, is that strategic, significance, futuristic, whatever?
Come on.
Yes, I just decided this is what I want to do. And I went the fast route. I decided, you know what, no ways I'm going to apply for ACC. I'm just going for PCC immediately. Was that a good decision? I don't know. Today, I will recommend to everybody, rather start with the ACC. And what does ACC stands for? It stands for Associate Certified Coach. But the benefit of being a member of the ICF and the benefit of being a credentialed coach for me is two things. I have credibility in the market of coaching. It is not just every year Tom, Dick, and Harry that did a course on the TED Talks or on YouTube or whatsoever. I have paid my dues. And you will see when I go through the criteria that it is a matter of having a lot of practice. This second part is that as a credentialed coach, I have the backing of the International Coach Federation. Because to be an ICF accredited coach, you have to adhere to their code of ethics. But it's not just to protect my clients from me. It is also to protect me from my clients. Because even though we believe when we say to our clients, everything is confidential, you know what? Some other time, somebody is going to speak out there of what has happened here. And it might put them in a situation that becomes difficult for them if they are in a company or in everyday life, I suppose, as well. And then you will be the scapegoat, my coach. And although we do not give advice, and although we adhere to the code of ethics, you do have to defend yourself. And you know what? Being part of a credentialed body like the International Coach Federation, you can ask for support. And you will say, yes, but where does this come in? I can share one experience that I had in all the years that I have been coaching. There was a client, a lady, and she had a real huge challenge at work. And when I spoke with her, the first session, she just cried and cried. And her ego was absolutely down. She felt now she is so vulnerable because I saw her crying. And she turned around and she went to her boss and said she doesn't want to be coached because I can't tell her anything. I'm not what she wants. And the worst part is that I have 10 clients in that company. And the only thing I could do is to say, I'm an ICF credentialed coach. I will write a report. You are welcome to connect with the ICF. Needless to say, nothing came from that, but I knew the ICF has my back. So credibility and backup for both yourself as well as your client. But right, that is the benefits for me. And I would like to share my screen now, and I do hope this works. Share. And right there I am. Thank you very much, Margriet. Credentialing has got a lot of steps, and it doesn't have to be laborious. The first part that we have to look at is your training. And you've all been trained as strength finder coaches. You know how to use this tool. So what you need, and somebody said about forms, no, you only need to know when have you been trained. And of course you have your certificate. So that's it. What did your training entail in terms of the number of hours? For the ACC credential, the Associate Certified Coach credential, you have to have 60 CEE points. Now, yes, you will say to me, now what is this ACTP, ASTHP, CCE? What is it? That is the different routes you can take towards credentialing. And for you, in the Strength Finder environment, your Strength Finder provider is accredited for the CCE points. And on your certificate, you will find that it says, this certificate states that you have been trained on the Strength Finder, and it will give you the number of hours that you have. You also are allowed to have research hours and self-study hours that you can combine into your certificate. But usually your provider will have done that already. So have a look on your certificate. It will say CCE hours, that many. Margriet, how many hours does a qualification with you bring?
Yes, so for the physical face-to-face, it's 34, and for the online virtual, it is 36.
Okay, so in other words, am I making the right connections to say that you can add both the two, and then you get the total number of hours that you have been trained?
No, so it's either or. So if you attended the virtual course, it's 36. If you attended the face-to-face course, it's 34.
Excellent, thank you. And that 34 or 36, does it include the self-study hours, the homework that you gave them, the portfolio that they have to do to earn the certificate?
Yes, it includes the course, the exam, as well as the coach's evaluations.
Excellent. Right, there you've got it. You have at least 34 or 36 CCE points. For credentialing, you can add 25% of that number, and if it's 36, it means it's 9 hours. You can add as self-study hours. Right, so what's the number of hours that you need for the CCE? You need to have 60 hours, of which 25% is allowed to be self-study hours or research hours.
Sorry.
Right.
Can I
Yes,
ask a quick
Elizabeth.
question? So the 34 CCE points that we got face-to-face, how many self-study hours did you say that was? If you did 34 hours?
Well, Margriet will be able to tell you how many self-study hours or research hours, or was it all ICF or competency-based related? But
So
of your total 60 hours, 9 hours or 8 hours in your case, 8.5 hours is allowed to be self-study. So you can add another 25% of the hours that you already have. You can add that to your certificate.
Okay, thank you.
Marina, I just wanted to confirm, so that's another 9 hours over and above the 34 or 36 credits.
As long as the 36 or the 34 was hours that was not classified by the ICF as research or self-study hours. So, Margriet, it will help you to just look at your credentialing document that you have to have sent in the beginning of the year already, I think February. Just have a look there, what it says, and you can clarify that with your coaches.
Yes, that would be Gallup. Is the
Yes.
the credentialing body there, and everyone, if you can just you can email certification@gallup.com, and they will provide you with a full document with all of the hours and the credits that you've got.
Yes, wonderful. Right, so in total you need 60 hours. And because you are in an environment where you have been CCE approved or accredited, it means that you can choose, when you are applying, you can choose the route CCE. Do not click on the ACTP. Oh, you can click on it, but don't go that route and try to apply that route. You are going to lose your money. Don't try to do the ASCHT. You're going to lose your money. You can apply for the CCE route. And the CCE route is the one where you need the following. You need training. You need 10 hours of mentoring, and we will talk about that just now. You need 100 hours of coaching, and you need to do a recording that you transcribe. So those are the 4 things that's important. We've spoken about the training already. Let's move to the mentoring. You have to have 10 hours of mentoring, of which at least 3 are individual mentoring sessions. You can have 7 or up to 7 group sessions. Now just think practical around this. Group sessions, it will be cheaper. Or if you decide you want 10 hours individual mentoring, then it's fine. But the ratio or the division of that is at least 3 hours individual, maximum 7 hours group mentoring. During that mentoring, what will happen is you will be mentored around the ICF competencies. And you will have, that's the first part of the mentoring. The second part of the mentoring is real life examples that your mentor will bring to you And the third component is where you bring real-time questions to the process. There are a few requirements when you decide to appoint a mentor. The very first thing is that your mentor has to have been, when you apply for an ACC, they have to have been an ACC already for at least three years. You are only allowed to mentor if you have moved past the first renewal of your credential. And you have to renew your credential after 3 years. So if you choose an ACC person to be your mentor, see to it that they are in their second pathway of renewing their credential. They are very strict about it. They will tell you, no, sorry, your mentor did not meet the expectations and the criteria. Hence, it is very important that you have an ACC or a PCC or a MCC. That is the wide choice you have. Doesn't matter. Elizabeth, did you want to ask a question?
Yes, I wanted to find out, are you an ACC approved coach?
I'm a PCC already.
Okay, so that would make you a person that we can speak to.
Yes.
As a mentor.
Definitely.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Right. And what is important when you are preparing for your credential is that you see that the mentoring that you receive is ICF aligned. It's not just a chatting session, and that you have the correct details of your mentor. And talking about having to complete forms, these are the things that's important, that you keep note of. Then we move to, see, you've got 2 out of the 4 already. How easy is that? Right. Then you go into the coaching. You have to have a coach log. Now, as you hear, I am not very good at admin. My diary is my log. Therefore, I see to it when I have booked a person, I had the session, I will make a note in my diary or in your calendar that I had the session on this day with this person. Right. Do you have to record every session? No. If you have 10 sessions with a person, you only record, I had 10 sessions of coaching with Margriet from the January 2019 up to August 2020. So you have to give the time frame, you have to give how many hours, and you have to put a contact detail. And that's the challenge, because not everybody wants to be logged on a public document. But the ICF has a solution for that. And I will talk about that just when we're done with this. 100 hours, you can either do individual coaching, or you can do group coaching, or you can do team coaching. You can do paid hours, and you can do pro bono hours. But the criteria is that at least 75 hours of the coaching that you are doing must be paid for hours. And 25 hours you can use as pro bono hours. For this year only, 2020, up to this point, They have changed that a little bit and said, okay, 70-30. But you get the gist of 75-25. You cannot have more than 25 pro bono in any normal year. When you are doing group coaching or team coaching, you can only count an hour if you are, even if there's 50 people that you are coaching. It only counts for one unit or for 1 hour, for how long you have been doing that. If it was a 3-hour session, you can't, if there's 50 people, you cannot ask or you cannot record 150 hours. You can only record 1. And then always ask your client to give their personal info. You know, Marina Gunter, my contact detail is marina@marinagunter.co.za. And do I allow you to share this with the ICF? Should they ask for that? And that is the interesting part, because they might just say, you know what, when you've submitted this, they will do spot checks and they will ask you to send the list. You might never hear from them that they asked for the list, but you don't want to run the risk of saying and claiming that I've done 100 hours and they ask for proof of that and you cannot give it. So it's all about the ethics. The third thing that we have is a recording. No, it's the fourth thing. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it is a recording. You have to do a recording of a coaching conversation. That is not a goal-setting process that you are going through with your client. It is where you are doing the formal coaching. You know, you've set the goals and you are busy moving towards achieving this goal. And that is a recording that you do with your client. The length of such a recording could be between 20 minutes and 60 minutes. They will not entertain anything that's less than 20 minutes or more than 60 minutes. And it's a wide range that you can coach in. So I always say, target the 40-minute line, because if you go over a little bit, it's fine. If you are shorter a little bit, it's still fine. You still fall within the mean of 20 to 60 minutes. That is not the hard part. The hard part is when you have decided that this is the recording that I want to submit, you have to transcribe it. But fortunately, there are a lot of transcribing tools. I know there's a WeTranscribe. Adobe has got transcription processes. So yes, but there's very specific ways of transcribing. You have to send in the transcription as well as the recording. Now, if you feel that you cannot do it in English, there are a huge variety of languages that you can do the recording in. The only criteria is that when you transcribe, you have to transcribe it in English. And then you'll say, but why do I have to send in the recording? Because they will hear, oh, this person is energized, this person's got an insight. So it's important. They want the nuances and they want the written transcription. And that's it. Then you apply, and you apply online. you have to be a member of the ICF. Now, that is great, because if you are a member of the ICF, you can get a discounted price. And the discount is approximately the money in rand value, what it will cost you to join the ICF. So it's a double whammy for you. You are scoring big time because there's benefits. There are trainings, there are documents that you can download, there are videos, you can do the ethical course there, you can get three more CCE points. Yes. So you choose, as I already said, the CCE route, and they also call it the portfolio route. You apply for it. What do they want you to put there? Submit. They want you to submit a copy of the hours that you've done, proof that you've trained. If you do not have the certificate, you can connect with the Strength Finder office or the Gallup office where you have been accredited as a Strength Finder coach, and they will give you a letter for, yes, this person has been trained by us for this number of hours. That is the one thing that you have to submit. The second thing is they ask a question. It's a declaration. I declare that I have been mentored for at least 7 group mentoring sessions and 3 individual sessions. You have to tick it. Clicks. There you tick it. Then they will ask you, who was your mentor? And that's why you can then put your mentor's contact details in there. How they will check is they will send me an email, or whoever your mentor is. They will send that person an email and say, can you confirm that this person had been coached? Not coached, mentored. And I just send a thumbs up and I say, yes, I confirm. Or say, oh no, I don't know this person from a bar of soap, sorry. The third thing that you then have to submit is your recording. And we have just spoken at length about that. And the fourth thing that you have to declare again is that I declare that I have coached at least 100 hours, of which 75 hours was paid for. And you tick it. You do not have to submit your coaching log. But be very aware, they will spot check. And you might just be the person that they choose to say, prove. And then you have to upload your document. The cost is $600 for the CCE portfolio pathway, but because you are an ICF member, you pay $400. So it's not a cheap process, but it's not that exuberant. Now you have submitted all of this and you've done the declarations and you're up and about and there you go. And now you are waiting. You are waiting. Now where am I? Oh, carry on. And one day, within about, usually about 6 weeks after you've submitted your application, you will receive an email. I have to warn you, it can take up to 14 weeks if there's a lot of things going on in their environment. you will get an email. We have received your application, we assessed it, and here is a link as a final pathway to get your credential. Please do the coach knowledge assessment, click on the link, and you can do your coach knowledge assessment. You've got 3 months to do that coach knowledge assessment. The only thing is, it is a once-off setting. It is not something that you can do over a period of time. When you go and sit down, you are going to do the coach knowledge assessment. It is a 3-hour assessment, 180 minutes. There's 150 multiple choice questions, but you have to do it in one go. You do that, there you go. It's got 4 areas that they assess you against, and then you submit, and it says, yes, you are competent. To be competent, you have to have achieved 75%. If you did not make it, you do have the next alternative where you can wait 2 weeks, pay $50, and then they will send you another link. You can only do the coach knowledge assessment twice in a year. But I'm sure you will be okay. It is really not very difficult, but it assess the skill you have to coach. Right, and then once you see, wow, 75%, sorry, it will take approximately 1 week for them to send your credential. And you have your certificate that you are a credentialed coach. Hence, the coach knowledge assessment is the one thing that gives you an indication that you have been successful. And when you hit that button, you see the 75%, you start to celebrate because you know that you have been accepted and marked competent on the ACC. You only have to sit the coach knowledge assessment once in your life as a coach. When I applied, we did not have to do the coach knowledge assessment, but you have to renew your credential every 3 years. And then 1 year when I wanted to renew my credential, they say for you to be able to renew your credential, we have this new thing that we applied. It's the coach knowledge assessment. They also call it CKA. And you have to do this and be successful in it before you can renew your credential. So if you want 3 more years, wait 3 more years, but do it. And then you're successful. Then you've got your assessment. Then you've got your credential. So I heard that there's a lot of bantering around. There's a lot of forms that you have to complete and you have to submit this. What are the forms? You have to have your coach log. You have to have, what else do you have as a form? You in any case have a coach log. You will have a mentoring hours that you are bringing into the process. You have your certificate. So it's actually very easy. And with that, you are successful and you receive your ICF credential. Now my question is, I see Louise, you came off mute. What is the question that you would like to ask?
Hi, Marina.
Yes, hello.
I would like to know if I did my results course in 2018,
Yes,
and now my Gallup one,
yes,
will my results course still count?
yes, of course.
So any prior training will count, but the coaching hours must be within a certain time frame?
Nope. There's 100 coaching hours, of which 18 have been in the past year and a half.
18.
The rest can be prior to that.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's good news. And do
And Louise,
Yeah.
depending on which part of the results coaching you did, whether you did the full course or whether you have done just the coaches BBCS, the coaching skills, it will count for the rest of your life as a coach.
Okay, awesome.
You definitely have, if you did the full course, and you will have 60 hours already, you will actually have 75 hours.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, awesome. Thank you,
So
Marina.
those hours will add up when you want to move to your PCC or to your MCC.
Okay.
Great.
Sure. Thank you. And then no specific template. You just create your own template.
I can send you a template, but there is a template on the ICF website that you can just download. It's as easy as can be.
Awesome. Thank you.
Louise, and as you studied, you can send Tamara an email. She will send you a lot of things if you want. So just connect with her.
Okay. And then the other question was for group mentoring sessions, can we also still contact Tamron again if we need to have more mentoring hours?
Or you can just send me an email. I will be your mentor, and there we go.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much.
Right. Louise, you mentioned something really interesting and very important, and that is, does your previous coach training count? And yes, it's very important what the level of that training was. Whether it was ICF accredited, then it's not a problem. It's easy. You just add your certificate. But if it was not ICF accredited, then you will have to prove it, and they have a beautiful word. I actually wrote it down. You have to have robust proof of what it is that you are bringing into the mix additional. Because this is called a portfolio route. You can add a lot of different courses. But the important thing is, if it is CCE credentialing, credentialed hours, great. But if it's not CCE, then you will have to have that robust proof of what have you been trained on and what did it entail. Erika.
Thank you. I just want to know if I did the training, the 34-hour training with Yendo and the 9 hours of self-study, what else can I do to get the rest of the points up to 60? What type of trainings can I add to that to get the rest of the hours of training?
Any training, and I would recommend that you become very selective when you are and critic when you are looking for a training provider. See to it that they are CCE accredited. You can do a emotional intelligence course. Any training that is CCE accredited. If you need a list, you can go on the ICF website to see what courses there are. And I am not taking this as a marketing exercise. You can connect with us. We can support you with the courses that we are offering. We are CCE approved. Yes, and Magritte, the way that Magritte and myself got in touch with each other is I asked Margriet also to come and speak on one of our Coaches Toolkit sessions, where she could share with our coaches what the Strength Finder is.
Okay,
Did I answer your question, Erica?
Yes, because if I look at myself, I've got everything else. I only need that extra training and then also the mentorship training. So that's basically all that I would need to do, because I've got the hours, all of the rest I've got.
Yes. I would not call the mentoring a training. It is mentoring hours that you have been mentored. And the whole thing is that it has to take place over a period of 3 months, at least.
Okay.
So you can't all of a sudden decide over a week, in a week's time, I want to send in my application, and now twice a day for the next 5 days you are mentored. It doesn't work like that.
Okay. And then the CCF membership, how much is that? And is it annually?
It's annually, and it is, well, it's close to $200. I don't know whether it's just below 200 or just over 200, because I just do it in the beginning of the year, and we can have a look on the ICF website. They will tell you what the membership fee is.
Then the other thing I wanted to ask you, being a CCF member, what is that? How has that helped you as a coach?
Yeah, it is not CCF, it's ICF. It stands for International Coach Federation. And as I mentioned in the beginning, it really gives me credibility in the market, during the marketing process, and in the coaching process. But the ICF, for me, has got my back. The other thing is also, being an ICF member, I have access to all the different trainings that they are offering. And they've got water cooler conversations that you can join. It's free of charge. And if you are receiving or applying for your credential already, I will definitely, if you are an ICF member, start to build your hours by attending the ICF little mini trainings. It's an hour, it's 45 minutes. Join that, and you build up your hours towards the next level.
Hey, thank you.
So sorry about that, Erica. Marina, so on that, Marina, we can join the ICF and start getting some of the hours from them before we get any kind of accreditation.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
They've got great tools. They've got a Coaches Toolkit there. They've got the full Monty there for you. It will take hours, because it's not a matter of you go and sit in a classroom and at the end of the 3 days you've got 25 hours. But you know what? You can do it in your own time and start to add before you even apply for anything.
Thanks very much.
There's one condition. You have, when you apply, you will have to say that you have trained with a CCE accredited company.
So sorry, just say that again, Marina. When you join,
they will ask you.
Okay.
They will ask you, where did you train as a coach?
Okay. All right. Good.
Louise.
Marina, sorry, I missed the first few slides. I joined a bit late. Can you just clarify for me, is there a distinction between your hours that you had training and where you actually meet clients?
A distinction where you have been trained versus
when you actually have one-on-one conversations with clients. So,
yes.
So is there a and then
yes.
in the coaching leg?
Yes, you have to have 60 hours of training, and you have to have 100 hours of that you've done. for somebody else, that you were the coach and you were coaching somebody.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Thank you.
Right. Then I see, Liz, you have been off mute for some time already.
Yes, I just wanted to say, maybe Margriet can confirm this. I think you can get CCE accreditation points for the learning series that's happened since I think 2008. I don't know if you can just confirm that you can get those CCE points also from the learning series, which is, yeah. Can you confirm that, Margriet?
Yes, Liz. You can get points, ICF accreditation points, if you attended it live. So you have to attend it live.
Can you confirm that for me? Because I'd heard, I don't know if I applied or I had spoken to somebody, but I think there was more if it was live and a few less if you watched again. But I don't know how would you be able to prove that you watched it?
Yeah, no, exactly. So, Liz, if I can just ask, you're welcome to email certification@gallup.com. They'd be able to confirm for you.
Okay, sure. Okay.
And especially in this time that we are in with COVID, where no live training takes place, they are making amends to support the coaches.
Okay. And then when you start the process to when you complete the process, I know you spoke about 3 months, but is there from when you start the process of the training to when you do the actual last thing, does it have to be in a time space?
No. It's only the mentoring.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And you can have the mentoring over 6 months. It doesn't matter. As long as it is just prior to when you are applying. It can be 6 months before you apply. It can be 3 months before you apply. But the minimum time is 3 months.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay. Get it. Got it. Thank you.
Right, Erica, and I saw that your hand was up again, or was it still the previous hand that was up?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. I think.
Okay. Okay.
But I think somebody else asked that question in the meantime. That's fine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yendor, I see that you came off mute.
Yeah. Marina, it really links with, I think, what James is also asking. Now, obviously, we're very happy to take your lead, but can you give us a bit of a steer around if we would want you to mentor us, what would that be? What would that involve? And, perhaps the costs are. We have a huge amount of people on the thing. Do you have capacity? What's your headspace?
Yes. I am available to be your mentor for group sessions. There's not more than 10 people allowed in the mentoring space in a group mentoring hour. The cost of that, and now I'm thinking about dirhams, but it is 200 Rand, South African Rand per session for group sessions. And then the individual sessions, if you have the group sessions and you follow on that, the individual sessions are 800 Rand per session.
Okay, I thought you were about to quote us in Zimbabwean dollars, which is fine. But just talk to us a little bit about what a group session would involve. I'm struggling to sort of.
We have a specific format.
Right.
I will, and I give you a manual that I've developed for myself so that I do it properly. I have a manual, so the first session will be around ICF competency 1 and ICF competency 10. ICF competency 10 is about creating awareness and setting goals. I will talk about that. What does it mean? What are the different skills that you must exhibit? And then I will also ask permission to share my personal experiences around these competencies. And then you as the group, doesn't matter, just like we are interacting at the moment, you can ask real-time questions about, I have this with my client, how can I manage it? Or what will you give advice? Because as a mentor, I am allowed to advise.
You see, Marina, I'm going to ask a cheeky question now, and this is not
You're
personally, this is a process question more than anything else. I've sort of engaged with the ICF competencies, and I've got about 25 years experience with dealing with competencies. So I have to say that this is a bit of a, it feels like a bit of a checkbox thing to do essentially what I can do online, which is read up on them.
Yes, as long as you have somebody that can prove or send you a proof that you've done mentoring, you go for
and
it.
I appreciate that. You know, so I'm just questioning sort of, you know, and
Yes.
you know, my initial starting point with this is I hate bureaucracy,
Yes.
and it just seemed, you know, so I see lots of, you know, so I'm just sort of applying a bit of a critical mind. One is, but to flag to all our coaches is that, you know, obviously we, Margriet and myself, would not be holding a session if we didn't think this was important. It just seems overly complicated to me on some of these types of things, on the mentorship stuff particularly.
Yeah, you know what? That is one of the requirements. It came in about 3 years ago, and other than the training that never expires, the mentoring will expire.
Mm. So when your mentoring expires again, then we go do the okay, all right. I'll take it offline with you. Thanks.
Yes, you're welcome to have a chat with me. And interesting is that you will realize that they are also revising the ICF competencies, and they're reducing them to 8 from 2021. Just a tick. Nothing new, just a little bit differently put together.
Very
Thank
nice.
You again.
Okay.
And I see that we are running a little bit, 1 minute left.
Yeah, we're just going to give one more person an opportunity to ask. James, and
James,
then we unfortunately need to end the session.
Yes.
Yeah, Marina, thank you so much for that clarification. You mentioned about the route, and you said that if you don't take the CCE route, you are likely to lose your money. So I have.
If you're training, and that's the prerequisite, your training as a Strength Finder coach is CCE accredited. If you have done training that is ACTP, I want to say to you, you would not have been here, because they have to do everything. You have to complete 125 hours before you can start to apply for a credential. Or if you have been doing an ACSTHP certificate, you then can immediately apply the ACSTH route, but you still have to, the thing that is the CCE, and why I focus on the CCE, is that I know that you've all done the Strength Finder, and they are registered as CCE. But you're welcome to connect with me, and we can talk about that, James.
Okay, thank you so much.
Excellent. And with that, Margriet, not really a good record to say I'm going 2 minutes over time or 3 minutes over time, but that is the end. And I do hope that somewhere along the line there was some new things that you've learned around the credentialing process.
Marina, I've already noticed in my calendar that this is my first mentoring hour, so I'm ticking the boxes.
That's fine. You're welcome.
You can have a sense of humor sometimes.
If you want me to send you a letter that you have done it, you have to email me, and I will send you proof that you had 1 hour of mentoring.
Fantastic, much appreciated. Not to put you on the spot, Marina. I think that from Margriet to myself, no, I appreciate it. we're serious about going this route, and so this has given us a really great starting point to have that conversation. So be careful of what you ask for. We are certainly going to reach out to you, starting off with our membership and so on. So you'll hear more from us. It's just that we were so doff that we just actually needed a starting place, and you've done more than that. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. And I just see that Liz has asked whether I will mail her and email her the mentor hour. I will do that. And
Opening the door.
Please, if you connect with me, I will send you
I appreciate that.
1 hour on mentoring already.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Activator here, Marina, same as you.
Oh yes, I'm an activator. Yes.
Yes. No, Marina, we also want to sort of respect your expertise and your competence in this area. So we'll have an offline conversation with you and seek your guidance on something a bit more formal in that space. That's why I asked about the capacity, because I know that those that are interested or were on the line. And so I suspect that your inbox is going to be filled with 170 million gazillion questions, and rightly so. So
as long as I can do it like this, it's easy. I have just completed a contract where I had 30 people to mentor for 5 sessions. My ears were going like this. So
yes,
I have the capacity.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. That's very good. So thank you for your time there. Yeah.
Thank you. And over to you, Margriet.
Right. Thank you, Marina. We all are much more informed now about the route on becoming an ICF credentialed coach. Just a reminder to get your confirmation of your points or credits. Please email certification@gallup.com and they will be able to help you with that. Thank you very much, everyone. May you have a great day. Stay safe and stay healthy.